Hi, Arrow.
Arrow.
There you are. We talked about this a year ago that you guys would be back for a second season, and here you are.
Yes, Arrow.
What was it like for you? Because we don't get to experience it. When you walk back onto that set for the next season, are there butterflies? What do you got to do to condition yourself?
I think set feels like home now.
I feel like I'm going to get diarrhea a little bit, but then I see Adrienne and it's all right.
One of the things that I really fell in love with about Pretty Hard Cases on IMDb is the fact that it wasn't always about the street stories, that you go inside and we get to know who the characters are, so therefore you become a member of our family.
Yes, that's important.
To make that happen, though, how do they prepare you for it? Your directors and your writers and things like that.
We have a lot of conversations before coming that we try to, at least. I try to get as much advanced script as I can, so we can know what we're going into and know how we want to approach it. And I've always been grateful to the writers in the writers' room for allowing us to have those conversations and even wanting to hear our input. And I love going on set, each season and seeing what new things they've added to the show. Like this season, you'll see a little bit more of Kelly's apartment. I feel a little bit more apartment view this season, so I'm really excited about that. And then I love the characters, the other actors on the show, and how they become involved and how their roles have grown this season even more.
Mm-hmm. Now, Meredith, putting together a series like this in a binge-watching world, I mean, it's like when you step into an episode each week, it's got to be like making a mini movie because we can come back to it and watch it over and over again. Look, because it's on IMDb.
Mm-hmm. It is. You're right. Our crew is incredible. Adrienne and I just love them. So we should take their energy and go. It is like making a mini movie each week. There's lots of locations. There's stunts. There's an extraordinary cast. There's new people coming and going. We have the main cast, mainstays. But yeah, you have to come in with that energy of like, okay, here's the story. Let's get the story out. And Adrienne's been really great of like helping me like, it's today. It's this moment. It's this scene. You know what I mean? Like, don't think ahead, because if you think ahead, there's so much that happens in the show. You'll kind of get lost and exhausted already. But yeah, every week's like a little fun movie.
Adrienne.
And Meredith helps me out because I am present in the moment, but I also am not looking so much going ahead. And so Meredith will tell me, like, Adrienne, you remember this is going to happen? And I was like, oh, really?
I feel like what happens is we've taken on a bit of our characters. We've taken on a bit of our Sam and a bit of Kelly.
I was wondering about that because building Detective Kelly Duff, I mean, to make her look so real on such a flat screen, how is it that you're able to? I mean, is it a learning process with each episode?
Yeah, I think every character, I learn something from them every single time, even with every single episode. I'm so grateful to, Nicole Manick, our costume designer, who we are in constant conversation about Kelly's wardrobe. She's American living in a Canadian world, so we want to bring in that American influence in her style. Even with hair and makeup, it's important to me as a Black woman and as a leading character on this show to reflect leading Black women who have natural hair. And so that's something that was important to me to show. And, because I want to see me. I've watched a lot of television and movies in my life, and rarely do I see a big, beautiful Black woman with natural hair in a leading role. And so those were things that were important to me that I wanted to reflect through Kelly Duff. And I've been so grateful to, like I said, Nicole Manick and Arlette Pender, who does my hair for the show. So that's how I bring her to life.
Meredith, have any of the past former police women ever reached out to you guys? Because, you're continuing on with a tradition. You guys are doing much bigger things than what, let's say, an Angie Dickinson or a Cagney and Lacey did. You guys are really stepping into some great territory.
Yes. It's like totally humbling to be part of this experience. And that Sherry White, Cassie Cameron created a show that they wanted to see relatable women on their screen at the top of their game with their complicated lives that bleeds through. And I think to sort of be able to be a part of that, respect that, be able to work with Adrienne and then understand what the cop world is like and what the pressures of that and the reality of that and what that is today. I mean, before we started, Adrienne and I we've spoken to 3 or 4 undercover female cops in the beat, and that's been sort of really helpful. And also, you know, we have looked to other cop shows, other women that have done it, and that's helpful too, but Pretty Hard Cases is sort of its own wonderful, strange thing.
So an interesting secret, before I was approached with Pretty Hard Cases, Adrienne for years had been obsessed with cop shows, crime drama shows, things like that. And I used to watch them, I used to binge watch them up till 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. So I feel like in ways I sort of manifested this experience because I watched the shows. I'm like, I would love to play a cop one day. That could be interesting. I just interesting.
Meredith, the show was nominated for 11 awards. I mean, kudos to the actors, the directors, the writers, and everybody on staff. But is it one of those things where you get the nomination, it's like, okay, we got to put our shoes on the same way tomorrow. We got to get to work. Okay, we thank you for the award nominations, but let's move forward.
I don't want to speak for everyone, but I feel like, yes. I mean, when you have a show this size, and like you were talking about, like it's a mini movie every week, there is that moment of absolute appreciation because it is about the audience and their experience, and the fact that it's being enjoyed is not overlooked at all. So there's this amazing moment of like love and gratitude, but at the same time, what makes a good show happen is the work that goes into it. You know, so it's just like, okay, let's do it. Let's go get 11 more or whatever we do.
But it's got to be fun for you, Adrienne, in the way that this isn't just a girl show. This is an everybody in the family show, that you are reaching everybody that and you want us to watch it because you make it about real life.
My 6-year-old niece loves the show. My 6-year-old niece, Skylar, my brother was telling me that she loves the show. She watches it. She asks every week, is Auntie Adrienne, is her show on? Can we watch it? So, yeah, I love that, you know, it appeals to a younger audience as well as, you know, our mature audience members as well.
Right. Well, congratulations on season number 2 of Pretty Hard Cases on IMDb. I expect to talk to you during season 3. Should I put it down on the calendar now?
Sure.
We'd love that.
Okay. Well, you two be brilliant today, okay?
Okay, thank you so much. You're lovely.